back again for some more NFL
Football.
We are through week uno here,
And we've already got a stinker.
and we've already got some stickers going on. Yeah, we have some exciting, fantastic games. We're starting to see that some of the teams that we thought were horses are horses, and some of the teams we thought were bad are bad, and some of the teams
Or the other way around.
and some of the teams that we thought might be pretty good, wasn't. So anyways, we'll jump into it. We will recap week one first. Talk about the winners and losers there. We'll throw in. There's already a couple little dumpster fires happening. We'll talk about
Already in week one.
Week one, there's some smoke turning here, yeah. And then we'll do some predictions for the winners and losers of week two. So let's go ahead and jump right in it. Thursday night football, man, what a way to kick it off. Bills at the Rams.
The Bills looked like the Bills of last year, and the Rams looked like a dumpster.
Our Super Bowl pick.
The Rams. Oh, not the Rams, but the Bills.
The
Sorry.
Bills.
The Rams won last year.
We picked the Bills to go to the Super Bowl this year, and they look good.
But outside of Cooper Kupp, did you see the Rams do much of anything?
No, Cooper Kupp tiptoeing and making a Hall of Fame tiptoey catch in the corner like he always does. That's all I saw there.
Throwing interceptions. That's a problem.
Well, I almost thought he had a Lions jersey on there for a minute, throwing those picks. But they were missing some players from last year. You know, they don't. I mean, people don't. You don't say much about Odell Beckham, but Odell probably took a lot of pressure.
Yep.
Off of some of
the other players they left last year.
Von Miller was on the other side chasing. I mean, he got 2 sacks on Stafford, and he probably was on his heels another 15 times. Von Miller chased Stafford all over that field.
That probably tells you a lot more than you need to know about the offensive line.
Yeah, the offensive line was struggling a bit, but I guarantee you that Stafford wish he had Von Miller back on the other side and not that, because he beat him up during that game. But 31-10, that was a
dominant
win. I mean, over the last year's Super Bowl, dominant win. Jumping into Sunday, we were at the Browns-Panthers. That was
so hot over there.
Man, it was a hot game. We got some sunburn going. But, man, what a game. It started out a little ugly, but halfway through the second quarter, through the fourth quarter, that was an exciting game.
I was criticizing the crap out of Ben McAdoo.
Ben McAdoo. He was, to all that talent that was on that team, he was not play calling very well. But they made some good halftime adjustments. Came out in the second half, and they were doing good. And what won the game? My goodness.
60-yard boot.
60-yard field goal. And it would have been good from 70. I mean, they actually did a scale on it. It would have been good from 70 yards.
Dear Lord.
That would have been an NFL record field goal by a rookie, highest drafted kicker in like 10 years or something.
Out of LSU.
Out of LSU. Man. That's what kicking to me is important. You need to have a good kicker, a good snapper. We'll talk about that here in just a minute too. A good snapper, a good holder, good kicker. If you don't have that, it will cost you games. It will win you games. The Browns won this game because
of the boot,
of the kick. Because they were outplayed in the fourth quarter. Carolina outplayed them, but. You know, if you can kick a field goal from midfield,
then I guess you're doing fine.
Then maybe you can win a game or two. Yeah. We had the Saints at the Falcons. This was the tale of two halves too. The Falcons won the first half. The Saints won the game.
Where
have we heard that before? Yeah.
The Falcons had a 26-10 lead
and lost.
What do you expect?
27-26.
What do you expect anymore?
This is a different team, though. This is a different coach. This is a different quarterback.
Maybe the whole franchise is cursed.
I don't know. They need to just stay out of the 20s. Don't just score 26 or 28. I don't know what that was.
How many blown leads is this team gonna do? How many more is it gonna happen?
I don't know. But
this is just getting silly.
It is getting silly. We had the 49ers at the Bears. The first shocker. I thought the 49ers would be a fantastic team, maybe go into the playoffs.
They started a rookie quarterback Trey Lance.
I had my doubts about Trey Lance, and I was right.
But it was really rainy.
It was a rainy, nasty, but the Bears scored 19. 49ers only scored 10. If the Bears could figure out a way to score 19,
The Bears offense.
the Bears offense outscored you almost double, 19-10.
Oh my gosh. Just seeing the Bears offense outscore the 49ers just so funny to me.
If you listen close, you can already hear the San Francisco fans saying, Garoppolo. Why did they bring him back? I mean, that's division. Bam, week 2. They want the quarterback back that took them to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
We had the Steelers at the Bengals. Here's where kicking comes into play. The Bengals looked horrible starting out. They had 3 picks in the first quarter.
And then Joe
One of them with
picked 4 times.
One of them with the pick 6. He had 4 times total. One of them was there was 3 in the first quarter and a half, and one of them was a pick 6. But the Bengals fought back. They're a good team. They fought back. It was just a few seconds left. They scored the touchdown, and they were down 6, so they scored the touchdown, tied it up. All you need to do to win the game is kick an extra point. And your placeholders and stuff were injured, and so they messed it up all game long and lost the game because of kicking.
Minka Fitzpatrick blocked the extra point, but it's still a gaff.
It was their snaps, though. Their snapper or their holder, one of the two, was out because of injury.
And the Steelers ended up winning in overtime.
Mm-hmm. So a 60-yard kick won you a game for the Browns, and a extra point lost you a game
for the Bengals.
Tell me that kicking ain't important. 1-0, 0-1. That one win at the end of the season could be the difference between home field and not home field, or making the playoffs and not making the playoffs because of a kick.
And T.J. Watt's going to be out for a little while.
T.J. Watt, he tore a pec. They're saying he could be out 6 to 8 weeks. They're saying he could be out the entire year. He's getting some second looks at it just to see if there's something that can be done.
Just having the thought of a torn pec. That's good.
Yeah. I thought the Steelers were going to have a rough year. Anyways, they wanted the Bengals bad. Bengals beat them both times last year. I think they would have I think they'll be happy at 1-16 now that they beat the Bengals. They wanted to beat the Bengals too.
I don't know if the Steelers are going to be that bad.
No, they've been 9-7. They'll be happy. They have not had a losing season under Tomlin since he's been there. Period. So I think they'll be okay with 9-7. But they really wanted that Cincinnati game. We had the Eagles at the Lions.
This is somewhat of a competitive game.
38-35. The Eagles' offense is just as good as I thought it would be. I mean, the Eagles' offense was pretty good. The Eagles' defense struggled a little bit.
And the Lions put up a valiant effort.
But just like the Lions, they lost. They can't win.
Man, those guys...
They score 35 and lose.
Man, those guys... I feel bad now.
Me too. I'd like to see the Lions in the playoffs. I mean, wouldn't you like to see the Lions in the playoffs?
I'd like to see the Lions not only in the playoffs, but win a playoff game.
Oh, yes, that would be fun. We had the Patriots at the Dolphins. 20-7, man. Dolphins.
It's been a recurring meme of the of the Patriots going into Miami and crapping the bed.
They can't win there.
Not even when Brady was there. They've had problems.
No, just can't do it. We had the Ravens at the Jets. And the Jets threw the ball, 51 times?
59 times with Joe Flacco. You have Joe Flacco as
You're not going to win any game throwing the ball 59 times.
With Joe Flacco.
Especially with Joe Flacco. But the Ravens...
The Ravens look good. But Al, your rebuild is still on cue.
It is still ongoing. Yes, it is. But the Jackson on his... contract tour, I heard he turned down over $200 million.
He doesn't want the money, he wants to play.
No, he wants the money, he just wants more money. I don't know, we'll see. We had the Jaguars at the Commanders. The Commanders won 28-22.
Carson, remember we gave him the ints last year.
Yeah, but he threw 4 touchdowns this time.
But he did throw 2 ints.
He threw 2. But he won. He got the W back in his name.
Here it is.
So it's WENTZ, not just ints.
That's one of the best memes I've ever seen.
He got the W back. And the stinker of the week, Colts Texans, a tie.
We get.
They gotta find some way to get rid of ties, man.
We gotta get these fixed up.
Man, we go NFL. What the crap? There's a tie. I mean, that week one we get a tie.
Woohoo! Yeah, let's go.
The AFC South does not have a team with a win after week one.
That shows you how bad that division is.
But the Colts are supposed to be pretty good. Tennessee's supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah, it's just that Colts-Texans tie is really going to bite into people's ears for the whole season.
And let's get into talking about kicking again. Giants at the Titans. Giants win 21-20 because
Todd Downing, the clown offensive coordinator who can't figure out how to close a game.
I don't know. They were up 13-0 at halftime,
and then he on the third down. Todd and his brilliant genius in
overthinking crap. You got Derrick Henry, arguably the best running back, if not one of the two top running backs in the NFL right now.
And you give him a shotgun wildcat.
You put him back in shot on 3rd and 1. You put him in shotgun. On another 3rd and 1, you do a tight end around.
The genius of Todd Downing is just
you got the
amazing.
best running team in the NFL, and you do a tight end around on 3rd and 1.
That's the genius of Todd Downing. He knows better about play calling than you and I do.
And then you've got a 46-yard field goal at the end to win.
And they whiff.
Lost the game. As bad as he sucked the rest of the game calling plays, they could have won if they had a kicker that could hit a 46-yard field goal.
I'm not putting this on Tannehill at all.
No, Tannehill looked decent.
He just was like handcuffed by Todd Downing.
Tannehill didn't put himself out wide and throw Henry back in the shotgun on 3rd and 1. That was the coaches that did that.
That was Todd Downing. It's the Todd Downing effect. We said it last year.
Yeah.
And it's coming back this year.
It's coming back again this year. We had the Packers at the Vikings, and Aaron Rodgers, man, he was in playoff form. They lost. They scored 7 points and lost 23-7. The Packers lost. So, yeah, he was in playoff form. They lost again.
You think he misses Devontae Adams?
Maybe, because they scored 7 points against the Vikings.
What an absolute... I'm not going to discredit the Vikings. That was a good win.
Yeah.
But Kirk Cousins outplayed him.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins outplayed Aaron Rodgers.
By a good stretch.
But, hey, Aaron Rodgers is making some good money, though.
But, hey, he's making 4 years, $200 million. He's going to eat up in your salary cap.
Yeah, that was really bad. But the Packers, man, no reason to worry. We'll go ahead and we'll go on a 10-game win streak here. And then we'll get into the playoffs and we'll lose round 1 again. So, I mean, that's a broke record. So
it's a meme.
It is a meme. We had the Chiefs at the Cardinals. The other team that looked fantastic.
And the other that looked like garbage.
Was the Chiefs, yeah. The Chiefs,
Cardinals looked like garbage.
44-21, and it was worse than that. It looked like 63.
Patrick Mahomes just took that bird and slapped it around for 4 quarters.
5 TD passes.
Jeez.
5 TD, and they pulled up. They really didn't try too hard as you know, as much as they could have late.
Oh, Cliff Kingsbury, it's time for you to jump
off
a cliff and into jump off a cliff.
I don't know. The Cardinals, I don't know if they'll make the playoffs this year. I don't know.
They paid Kyler Murray all that money.
It'll be a wild card at the best if they do.
I mean, poor Cliff Kingsbury should probably jump off the cliff that the Cardinals are on right now.
They shouldn't have, honestly. I mean, I like Kyler Murray, but they shouldn't have gave him that contract. They should have let him prove it through this year, and then they could have done the contract.
But nope.
We had the Raiders at the Chargers.
The Chargers played well. Yeah, 24-19. We had this one really, really close, but we had the Chargers winning. Man, Justin Herbert. Looks like Justin Herbert.
He looks like he's 12 years old, but man, he also looks like Joe Montana in a 12-year-old body. He's pretty good, you know. He's really, really good. And we're going to have a good week this week coming up with that game too. And then we had the Bucks at the Cowboys, and it's the same old Cowboys. Dak is hurt, and the Cowboys lose game 1.
Some may say it's Christmas for...
Is it 2021 or 2020 or 2019 when Dak's hurt and the Cowboys lose?
That's just a very...
He hurt his hand. It's going to take surgery.
That's going to be
He could be out. They're saying he can make a quick recovery now, just be out a few weeks. But some are saying 6 weeks. Some say maybe IR. I don't know. So we'll see.
You know the feeling of whenever you try to put a vampire back in his coffin and he just comes back from the dead over and over and over? That's what Tom Brady is right now.
Yeah, I mean, they still look good. That team's still loaded with talent. It's got some talent on it. And then our Monday night game, we had the Broncos with the return to Seattle for Wilson.
A good chunk of this game we're going to save for a different segment, but we'll just prioritize the highlights here. Russell Wilson had a decent debut.
He had a pretty good debut. The play calling was pretty bad.
Yes.
Seattle wanted that win really, really bad. They were at like a 99 decibel level screaming. It was.
And Geno Smith,
congrats to Geno. I mean, that was some crisp looking quarterbacking.
He only missed one pass.
Yeah.
And he has 2 TDs. He has more TDs than he has
incompletions. I mean, that was pretty good. They didn't they leaned on him the first quarter and a half, and then after that they sort of
got to the running
game a little bit. But Geno, he looked really good.
That was some good coaching too by Pete Carroll. Mm-hmm. When you got a guy like that and you're just coming off of a quarterback like Russell Wilson, you want to give him as a game manager role, and he fit his role. He
fit it good. Yeah. All right, that is our recap of the week 1 scores. Now we'll talk about our dumpster fire of the week.
Dumpster fire of the week.
Yeah. Our dumpster fire of the week is it's really too early to call a team.
So we'll just go with Denver Broncos head coach Nathaniel Hackett.
And
Todd Downing.
The head coach.
He's the offensive
coordinator for the Giants.
Titans.
Oh, the Titans. Oh, man. It was in the Giants game. Man, that was some bad
play calls.
Talk about the Denver one first. Why?
Give me a moment.
All right, first of all, you bring in Russell Wilson. You bring in what you think is your franchise quarterback, what you want to be your franchise quarterback. You pay him how much money?
$240 million.
So $240 million long-term contract. You bring in this quarterback. You've got a chance to get a field goal range to win a game.
Let me set up the sequences that led up to this moment. They had 1 minute and 5 seconds left on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
They ran a play. They called it dead at 1 minute and 3 seconds, and then afterwards they just slightly jogged down to the quarterback like they were going for a morning stroll, and then they go into the huddle, and then they sit there for 20 seconds.
They talk about what they're going to have for supper that night,
and then they come out of the huddle. And they had all 3 timeouts, and the clock was running during this time. Mm-hmm. They go out of the huddle. The play clock is under 10 seconds. They don't even snap the ball. And with 1 second left, they call a timeout, their first timeout. And then after that, we get the stupidest thing of them all. You kick a 63-yard field goal instead of going for it on 4th and 5.
So you got 1 minute and 3 left. And the instant in your mind is, we're going to try a 65-yard field goal. I mean, that's the only reason why you would waste all of that time off the clock, is if you never even considered
going for 5 yards
on 4th and 5. And now this was like a 65-yard field goal. 64 and up field goals over the history of the NFL, the percentage of hitting them, 7%. You have a 7% chance of hitting a 65-yard field goal. Going for it on 4th and under 5 or under yards, you actually have a 54% chance of completing or getting that down. So you would rather take your $240 million quarterback, put him on the bench, bring in a kicker, and go for a 7% chance success rate rather than giving your $240 million quarterback a 54% chance
to get 5 yards.
To get 5 yards with 1 minute and 3 seconds and 3 timeouts. You could have got down to the 20 and kicked a field goal.
Oh my gosh. That is some of the worst
What the crap? I'm not a coach. And I'm like, what the crap?
That is some of the worst clock management I've ever seen.
It was just, what's the worst decision? Why? I mean, I don't know if maybe from the earlier in the day they saw that the Browns kicker hit a 60 yarder, and they thought, well, if he can do it, then we can. No, it's 7%. 7.
Not you can't just bring one regular Joe onto the team and have him kick that kick.
No, it ain't going to happen that much. 1 out of 10% is the best. And it's 50-50 getting that fourth down play. And if you get the fourth down play, you still got a minute and 3 timeouts to get closer and closer and closer and closer.
But they didn't use a single timeout, drained the clock,
ran the clock off,
1 second,
missed a 65-yard field goal, and took the L.
So that was well-deserved loss.
That was well-deserved. And now let's jump into the Tennessee game. But we actually gave you some of those. That was really good. 3rd and 1, and you put the best running back in the NFL in a shotgun.
He must have been on some drugs before calling that play.
Another 3rd and 1, you got the best running back in the NFL, and you do
No, that was where he was on drugs.
a tight end around.
Who calls that on? All you need is 1 yard.
And they were up 13-0, and it's like he was like, well, we got this one. I'm going to play, and let's try this. And they lost.
I think Todd Downing after this season should be just working at a McDonald's serving food.
He needs to be. He needs to be somewhere besides calling plays for the Tennessee Titans.
Because, man, some of those play calls.
That is bad. All right, that is our dumpster fires of the week. We don't have a team yet. We may have a team after week 2, though. Let's go ahead and jump into week 2 and talk about it. Let's do a little predictions here. I guess Thursday night. Man, last Thursday we had the Bills at the Rams. This week we got the Chargers at the Chiefs. Man, whoever scheduled these Thursday night games, I love you. That is just fantastic.
You will need Prime Video, Amazon Prime Video.
It does on Prime Video this year, so subscribe. It's worth subscribing just to watch this game. Because we have the Chargers at the Chiefs. The Chiefs are favored by 4 points. I'll probably take the Chiefs. Until somebody beats them, I'll take the Chiefs to win, especially since it's in Arrowhead. But man, what a game! I hope this is like a 37-34
good old shootout.
Just shootout. It's just fantastic. All right, Sunday, starting at the 1 o'clock games, we got your Panthers at the Giants.
The Giants coming off a big win in week 1.
They actually have the Giants favored by 2.5. I'm taking the Panthers. I don't think the Giants are as good as they played. The Tennessee gave that game to them.
No, Todd Downing.
Todd Downing gave it down. But yeah, I'm actually going to take the Panthers plus 2.5. We got the Jets at the Browns. The Browns running game
is going to wear out the Jets.
It's too much for them. The Jacoby Brissett, and again we sat there and watched him live. He was okay,
but he was too scared to throw the ball downfield.
He was off a little bit, throwing stuff into the ground a little bit, and toward the receivers had to make Superman diving catches to catch some of the balls and stuff. But the running game, Chubb and Hunt,
good.
Ding. So we got that one. We got the Commanders at the Lions. Man, that's going to be a disaster game. I don't know. What do you think? The Lions looked good last week. The Commanders won.
I'm going to take Superman Carson Wentz.
Oh, okay. Hey, he is coming off a W, so we'll go take it. We got Detroit -2, so you've got the Commanders +2.
I still miss when they were called the football team.
The football team. I still miss the Redskins. Those are Redskins, people. I mean, I'm sorry. We got the Buccaneers at the Saints. This should be a good game, too. Bucs are favored by 3.
Do you want to
Alvin Kamara's got a little injury. I'm worried a little bit about him.
Do you want to take the vampire that came out of his coffin?
I'll probably take Tom, the Tampa Brady Buccaneers.
They always come back for more every year.
Every year, yeah. We got the Patriots at the Steelers. That will be interesting too. With TJ Watt out, I would probably go for the Patriots.
I mean, it's weird not seeing Brady and Roethlisberger in those cities anymore.
Yeah. I mean, normally think about it. This would be Brady versus Roethlisberger.
That would have been primetime business.
Now it's Mac Jones versus Mitchell Trubisky. Woo! Oh, but I've got the Patriots with the injuries to the Steelers. We got the Colts at the Jaguars. I'm gonna pick the Colts, even though they tied last week.
I
hate that. I got the Colts. Colts -4. I would take that.
More
Dolphins.
ties to come.
Dolphins. Ravens should be a good game. Ravens are actually favored pretty high, about 3.5. I'd probably take the Ravens. I still think it's Lamar Jackson's contract year, and he's going to say, "So you don't want to pay me $240, huh? All right, let's go ahead and go for $260 after I tromp through the NFL this year." Then, so I'm going to take some Ravens -3.5. We got the Falcons at the Rams.
The Rams should bounce back here and win.
This way, I think this is the biggest line of the week. They're favored by 10.
I got an advanced prediction.
What's that?
The Falcons will get up to a lead and surprise everyone, and then choke it.
And then choke it away at the end. You think the Rams could cover 10 points? Think they'll beat them by 10 or more?
Probably.
Probably so. We got the 49ers taking on the Seahawks at the 49ers. The 49ers are favored by 10. I don't think they cover that. I would take the Seahawks +10. The Seahawks looked better than the 49ers did last week. Geno looked better than Trey Lance did. I mean, he did. I'm not just saying it, he really did. So I'm going to take me some Seahawks +10 on that. We got the Bengals at the Cowboys. Cowboys are they're starting what?
Cooper Rush.
I don't.
And the coordinator is.
Doesn't that sound like the color of a crayon? You want some? Hey, look, it's Cooper Rush. The color. That's awesome.
Oh my gosh! And do you know who's the coordinator? Who's probably just as bad as Todd Downing?
Oh my goodness, Kellen Moore. Until they get rid of him, they are who they are.
It's two of the Triforce of bad coordinators.
Now, Bengals -7.5. Bengals win it. They cover that too. Texans Broncos, our third 10-point spread. Broncos are favored by 10. The Texans look pretty good going into week 2. They actually, got a tie out of week 1. Do you think I think the Broncos bounce back though and win this one fairly easily. Got the Cardinals at the Raiders. One of these teams is going to be 0-2.
And it's going to be the Cardinals.
It's going to be the Cardinals, yeah. The Raiders is going to win this one, yeah. They're favored by 6. I think they cover that 6 too. We got Bears, Packers. Packers are favored by 10. I'm taking the Bears.
You want to take?
I don't think the Bears are going to win it, but
take
plus
the Bears.
10 +10 points.
Justin Fields has arrived.
Mm-hmm. And the Packers really look in disarray. They do.
Do you see that? Did you see that video of him sliding on the turf after they won? It's like,
let's having some fun with it, yeah. That's it. That is our. That's all our Sunday games. We got to do the Monday games. We started out with a bang. We're going to end with a bang. Titans at the Bills.
The one thing that worries me is the X factor, Todd Downing. And do you know what worries me about the Bills? The lack of running game.
Yep. The Bills are favored by 10. I don't like that. Honestly, I would probably take Tennessee +10 because they should, if they got any brains whatsoever, they run the ball and slow the game down. Take the ball out of the Superman's hands. The quarterback for the Bills. Take the ball out of his hands a little bit. Run the ball, slow the game down, and
who knows what Todd Downing
try to hit a 46-yard field goal at the end of the game maybe this time.
But who knows what Todd Downing's going to think? He's probably going to overthink it again and throw
probably. I'll take Tennessee +10 though, and they'll probably get Todd Downing. And then we got 2 Monday night games. Got the Vikings at the Eagles. That again should be a fantastic game. Both of these teams are up and coming. They're doing pretty good. Philadelphia's favored by 2. I'll probably take Philly. I got a feeling about Philly this year for some reason.
Philadelphia made a bunch of good moves.
Yeah, they made a bunch of good moves. So we'll take Philly -2 on that one. And that's it. That is our NFL for week 2. Recap of week 1 and week 2. Be sure to leave some comments down here. Let us know what you think. If you want us to change something, do something more, maybe add a little something, take a little something away. Leave us a comment, subscribe, share us with your friends. Hit the groovy baby button over here somewhere too.
Groovy baby.
And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.